My name is Newton McGackey. That I was one of 14 children. It was back in the time that nobody had money because everybody went broke. Well, I ended up in the Navy. One day I was staying on the corner and I saw this boy that I graduated from school. And I said, "Oh, Paul," I said, "I thought you enlisted in the Navy." He said, "Oh, I did. And I get a paycheck?" I said, "You do." I said, "Man, I've got to get in this office." Of course, I had no trouble of being accepted. They wanted sailors if they could look, if they could see, and move their arms and legs. They were accepted. I was sent to the Hawaiian Islands, and I don't need to tell you all that I went through.
Hi, I'd like to thank all of our veterans and all of those who are actively serving in our country. Many, many thanks for keeping our country free. I'd especially like to thank my father, Albert A. Monroe, who served in the U.S. Navy.
My mother was a PBX operator at Corpus Christi, Texas. My father was a naval aviator. They met in the Navy in Corpus Christi.
This is our dad, Ted Perkinson. He was in the Army from 1997 to 2001. He served during times of peace.
This is my husband, Howard. He went in after ROTC in college. He went to Vietnam and served. And then when he was 60, he decided to join the National Guard. He went to Iraq and he went to Kosovo. I'd like to thank him for his service.
I would like to thank all the veterans out there who have served in the past and the ones who are on active duty. I'd also like to thank my father, Anthony Canova, who enlisted in the Navy in World War II. He found himself on the island of Iwo Jima. Thanks, Dad, for all you did for us.
Charles Yo served during World War II in the U.S. Army Air Corps, and he was in the Pacific. He served in New Guinea and in the Philippines. This is our son, David Andrew Samuel Houston. After 9/11, he felt very compelled to serve his country. He joined the Army and became a second lieutenant. He was deployed for 1 year under Operation Enduring Freedom to Afghanistan.
This is my son Nicholas. He attended the United States Air Force Academy, culminating in his graduation this year. He's en route to Randolph Air Force Base, where he'll begin his pilot training. Thank you to all the veterans and active military for the great job they do in protecting this country. We're really proud of everyone involved.
My son Stephen Hill is a Marine, and my uncle Dean Tidd served in the Army during World War II. I truly appreciate their service and sacrifice.
This is my cousin, Navy. She was serving in the Pentagon when 9/11 occurred, and she was buried in the rubble. She had a new son, and she was rescued, and I will never forget that day, Sherry. Thank you for your service. My father was Army Air Corps, and my uncle was Navy in World War II. My brother, Army. My uncle, Infantry, World War II. Thank you for your service.
This is my dad. He was in the Merchant Marine. He was there during World War II. My father was also in the in the Merchant Marine supplying during the Korean War and during the Vietnam War.
David Mundrick, over 22 years of service, still serving as an Air Force reservist right now, out of Andrews Air Force Base.
I'd like to thank everyone who's been the veteran and served our country and for their service. This is my son, Alan Davis. He went in during the 20s to the Army. He was active duty in combat during the Desert Storm.
Our son, U.S. Navy Petty Officer First Class Keith Hunsinger, he served 20 years in the Navy. As a fire controlman, he was deployed to the Persian Gulf 4 times during his service to our country. We're very proud of him and his love of the country.
I would like to thank all of the veterans for their service. These are 2 of my favorite veterans. My dad, he served in the Navy in Bremerton, Washington. My uncle served on the USS Saratoga.
I'd like to honor my younger brother, Jim Lippy, Vietnam War veteran that served his country well. God bless you, Jim.